Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Nakwam, Watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another Monday night fire, giving, of course, all honor and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashima Mashiach, Wamalak Yabushai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting and laboring for the second coming of our Lord Yahushai. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying, they're being diligent, and they're abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Aquath out there, the sincere sisters that are out there zealous, diligent, and on fire, moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom to the ancient men. Shalom to the children. Shalom to the elect of Israel scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to everybody tuning in live and that will tune in, most high willing. Brother Azariah, shalom, King. Don Israel to me, Benjamin Youngwolf, shalom. Nadine Brooks Banks, Dinah, Chris Israel, Akaman, Bani Asha'Allah, Adasah, all praises to the Most High Yah. Zako Manta, Brother Yamir, shalom, King. Benaniah 7, shalom. Choctaw, Black Tribe, Mashiach Gad, and everybody else again tuning in and that will tune in, Lord willing. Job, God versus Satan, what really happened, part 2. So we covered, this is going to be a series according to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Abashai. You know, the Most High is going to allow us to go into the book of Job as he seems fit, and as long as the Most High has it in our spirit to do these things. You know, all things are of the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Abashai. So we're going to go into the book of Job, and we've read essentially the first chapter concerning this so-called theory, or this addressing this so-called theory and attacking these so-called points of God having an eternal war against Satan, Satan rebelling against the Heavenly Father, who Job is, and we're covering the entire book of Job as much as we can through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Abashai. It's 42 chapters. I mean, we'll see how far we can go in it. And we're going to start right off in Job chapter 2 and 1, and we're uncovering what really happened in the book of Job. Not hearsay, not what you heard in church, not what you heard in Catholic Mass, right? Not what you heard on damn Sunday in your Sunday service or your Bible study, man, when you were in the world. But what really happened according to the precepts and according to the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Bashmi Abashai, right? So we read Job, the first chapter, read about the book of Job, right? We didn't get to the part where Job lost his 7 sons, his 3 daughters, his oxen, he lost his, his cattle, his she asses, he lost everything, right? Now we're in Job, the second chapter. Following up, this is Job chapter 2 and 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go back, right? Now that I think about it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Abashai, there's a part I want on this. Right? Let's start at Job chapter 1 and verse number 13. It reads, and there was a day when the sons of God came, and there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So remember, this is now Satan being given the authority by the Most High to take anything and afflict Job in any way, but he was not allowed to touch Job, right? He wasn't allowed to touch him. When you read this account, right? The Lord said, don't put your hand on him. So now Satan is taking things away from Job. And the Most High does that to us, man. Right? He'll use Satan to try us. The Most High could put the spirit and charge Satan to take away your job from you like that. The unexpected events that befall us are of Yahweh Bashmi Abashai. Right? Rather you're righteous or you're wicked. Anybody is subject to trial. Let me get this in Ecclesiastes chapter 9 real quick. So Job, You, I, anybody, and everybody, they're all subject to trial. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and 1. For all this I consider in my heart, even to declare all this, that the righteous and the wise and their works are in the hand of the Most High. No man knoweth either love or hatred by all that is before them. So the Most High runs all things, man. The righteous men, the wise men, and every work that you do, it's in the hand of God, right? So the Heavenly Father controls all things. And it says, no man knoweth either love or hatred by all that is before them. All things come alike to all. There is one event to the righteous and to the wicked. So the righteous die, the wicked die. The righteous get tried, the wicked get tried. To the good and to the clean, and to the unclean, to him that sacrificeth, and to him that sacrificeth not. As is the good, so is the sinner. As he that sweareth, as he that feareth an oath. You see that? So all events can happen to anybody. You know, that's what this chapter is about, essentially. It's about how the Most High orchestrates and dictates man's life. Right? I want to get this in the NLT real quick. And your people, well, why did God do that? Well, the Most High tries Job the same way he tries us. And the Most High took things away from Job, right? He took away his oxen, he took away his asses. And there are many other things he took away, right? Let's get that in another translation, right? We'll get that in a NLT, Ecclesiastes 9, right? It reads, Ecclesiastes 9 and 1, this too I carefully explored. Even though the actions of godly and wise people are in the hands of God, no one knows whether God will show them favor. See, that's the point, man. Right? Nobody knows if you're going to get favor from the Most High. You can wake up tomorrow and get unfavorable results from the Most High. The Lord, you could wake up tomorrow, your car could be robbed and broken into, huh? Right? You could wake up tomorrow, or it can happen tonight. The Most High can take away your loved ones. The Most High can take away your health. He can take away your possessions. He can take away your income. He could break apart relationships. The Most High could break apart your structure, your bones. Your house could start leaking. Your windows could break. Anything and everything can happen. And the Most High doesn't have to warn you, or the Most High doesn't have to send a prophet to let you know these things are going to happen. Right? It says, this too I carefully explored. Even though the actions of the godly and wise wise people are in God's hands, no one knows whether the Most High will show them favor. The same destiny ultimately awaits everyone, right? That same destiny ultimately is death, right? It reads, whether righteous or wicked, good or bad, ceremonially clean or unclean, religious or irreligious. Good people receive the same treatment as sinners. And people who make promises to God are treated like people who don't, man. You see that? See, people don't understand the Most High, man, right? They think just because they're following the Most High, evil can't happen to them. Just because you prayed 5 times a day doesn't mean the Most High is not going to try you. Just because you fasted 3 times this week doesn't mean the Most High is not going to test you. See, sinners die by the edge of the sword when they commit sacrilege, idolatry, and all manner of blasphemy, man. Righteous men die, man. And no man layeth it to heart or consider that this man was taken away from the evil, man. Paraphrasing. Righteous men are martyred. You understand? Righteous men receive judgment too, man. Right? Let's read on. It seems so wrong that everyone under the sun suffers the same fate. Already twisted by evil, people choose their own mad course, man. Now let me jump down, right? Because people get the same judgment, right? Let's get Ecclesiastes 9 and 11. I observe something else under the sun. The fastest runner doesn't always win the race. The strongest warrior doesn't always win the battle. The wise sometimes go hungry, and the skillful are not necessarily wealthy. And those who are educated don't always lead successful lives. It is all decided by chance, being in the right place at the right time. Right? People can never predict when hard times come. Like fish in the net or birds in a trap, people are caught by sudden tragedy. So it's showing you how the Most High could intervene throughout your course of your life at any given moment and give you unfavorable circumstances to test your faith. And the riches and the wealth and the success that you do have doesn't mean that you can escape from judgment. Right? Let's go back to the KJV, right? Ecclesiastes 9 and 11. We'll read it here. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not always to the swift. Yeah, fast people, they pull hamstrings all the time. I mean, you see it all the time in track and field, right? You see it all the time in the world of the Olympics. Fast people false start. Here they spent their whole life trying to qualify for the Olympics just to false start. And those people who pulled the hamstring, who did a false start, which meant they ran before the race actually started and were disqualified, those people are the fastest people. They were going to win the race. And they were going to be on that podium. And they were going to receive a gold medal. And they were the fastest person on the earth. But who made them false start? Who made them pull that hamstring? Who made them trip before the finish line? Yahweh. Bashmi Abashah. Doesn't matter how fast you are. It's up for the Most High for you to win a race. Doesn't matter how strong you think you are. Or matter of fact, how strong you actually are. Samson was strong. And Samson was conquered by an inferior nation. Had his eyes plucked out. And he was made a sport, man. A prison house, man. And he grinded, man. Like a slave. And he was a judge of Israel, man. He was a judge and a wise man full of parables and riddles and strength. And he was made to be a base man. Right? Many strong men died, man. Joab was the general of the Most High's army. And Joab he died in the damn wilderness, man. In his own house. Who would have thought such a valor, what's the word I'm looking for? A man of valor, man. Like Joab, a general of the house of David, would die in the wilderness in his own damn house, man. Not even a sepulcher amongst the kings. Goliath was strong. He died, man. Sihon and Og, the king of Bashan. It doesn't matter. It's up for the Most High. It says, neither yet bread to the wise. Yeah, you would think that these Egyptians, man, would be able to save themselves from the famine. Go back and read the book of Genesis, man. You would think that when they had the 7 years of famine, that they could figure it out. And they were going to die, man. And these Egyptians were supposed to be wise men, magicians, sorcerers, soothsayers, and they still came up short. And they were supposed to be the top nation. America's a wise nation. Universities, pharmacies, master's degrees, doctorate degrees, and there's still trillions of dollars in debt. Why? Because it's not up to man, it's up to the Most High. Same thing with riches and men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill. But time and chance happeneth to them all. This is Job's time. This is Job's chance. This is his trial. So time and chance happens to every single one of us, right? So you can never rest on what's in front of you. You have to always understand that the Most High, he's running the show, right? Let me get a precept in Job. Actually, let's go to Ecclesiastes 7, right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes 7 and 14. It reads, and the day of prosperity be joyful, but in the day of adversity consider. The Most High also hath set the one over against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. Right, meaning what? The Most High requires man to live and rejoice in your labor. Right, in the day of prosperity, be joyful, man. In the ancient world, you will have a harvest. Right, you will plant your seeds. You will reap the benefits of your labor. Today's world, you might get married, and you might get that job you finally so-called wanted, man. You know, you might have bought that car. Hey, be joyful, man. Hey, pour a glass of wine, enjoy the sun, take a walk, go to the beach, enjoy a night out with your woman, man, play with your children. You know, you got that raise. Hey, be joyful, man, and praise the Most High. But in the day of adversity, right? What is the day of adversity? When things don't go your way. That's the day of adversity. You have to consider and always say, man, the Most High, he could do this any day, man, right? Because the Most High, he set one over against the other. Just like the Lord set light against darkness. He set hot against cold. He set bad against good. right? He set prosperity against adversity. He made both of these things. So whatever event befalls you is going to fall into one of those categories. And why did the Most High do that? To the end that man should find nothing after him. What is this? What does this mean? To the end that man should find nothing after him. Meaning the Most High put man in a box, and man can never understand what's going to happen to him. Man will never understand. So man has to always trust in the Most High. Right? Let me get Amos back here. Shalom, King.
God, Shalom, King.
Y'all Bashim Shabakata.
Y'all Bashim Shabakata. How you feeling?
I'm fighting a good fight. All praise to the Most High. How you holding up?
I'm enduring, man. You know, taking it a day at a day.
All praise to the Most High. So I'm gonna read this real quick, right? This Ecclesiastes 9 and 7 and 13 NLT. Except the way the Most High does things. And that's hard for people to do, man. For who can straighten what he made crooked? Sometimes things are what they are. You can't change it. You have to accept it. You have to accept certain things, man. Right? An example, let's say you tried to get a car, right? You know, you saved up all of this money, you know, you had plans and you picked out what car you wanted, you know, you got your credit score up and you really wanted to get this car, man. Everything looked good on paper. You go to the dealership and they say, I'm sorry, there's nothing we could do for you. And they give you an excuse, man. Right? I'm sorry, the car's not there. They might even say the car's not there, we're sold out. Or you didn't pass the credit check, man. Right? Here you are arguing, and they say there's nothing we can do for you. I'm sorry, sir. Good day, sir. May you please leave. You're running your mouth. You're becoming irate. You want to talk to the manager. The manager comes out. He breaks everything down to you. Hey, look, this is our new policy. I'm sorry, we should have showed you beforehand, but we didn't. Our hands are tied. There's nothing we could do. Right? Here you are praying to the Most High, fasting, and you're bewailing yourself. You're crying. Hey, brother, some things are what they are, man. The Most High did that. If the Most High wanted you to get that car, you would have got that car. Accept the way the Most High does things and what he does. You can't change what the Most High has set up of old. It reads, enjoy prosperity. See, this is kind of cutting this off. Okay, enjoy prosperity while you can, but when hard times strike, realize both come from God. Remember that nothing is certain in this life. So the book of Job and certain precepts in Ecclesiastes, they go hand in hand, man. Right? Enjoy prosperity while you can. While you got that extra money in your pocket, man. You know, while the sun is shining, it's 75 degrees outside, man. You know, you got a day off. Hey, man, take that day off, man. You know, you got time where you could do this, do it. But when hard times strike, remember the Most High gave that too. He gave you prosperity. He gave you hard times. Remember that nothing is certain in this life, right? Nothing is certain. So going back to Job, everything that we're reading about, it's by chance, man. The Lord chose Job. It was nothing he could do about it. The Most High started taking things away from Job, and it is what it is, right? This is his trial. This is his time, you know? So you can't get emotional. A lot of people get emotional when they read the Bible. Why would God do this? And that wasn't right. He targeted Job. That was mean. You don't know the Most High. You expect the Most High. People expect the Most High to be the power and God they learned about in Christianity, man. Well, he just always has to give you what you want. You always get good. There's no adversity. And no matter what evil, child molesting, murderous life you live, you're welcome. The doors are open and you can go to heaven. That's not the Most High, man. So I'm going to read two more and I'm going to pass it. So this is Job 1 and 15. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of God is fallen from heaven and have burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So it says, while he was yet speaking. So the first man came and told him, all your oxen, your asses, they're robbed. While he's talking, with bad news, and God cuts him off to bring him more bad news. Just cuts him off and says, here's what also happened. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels and have carried them away, yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped to tell thee. So you got a picture. He listened to this guy, God cut him off. He listened to this guy, he cut him off, and they all telling him bad news. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. You got it, King.
Gun, Shalom, Israel. Let's go to Matthew chapter 6 and go to verse 33, 34. Start at 34. Right, to let me back on what the brother was saying, no man can withstand what the Most High has and plan for you, whether it be that day, next week. Who knows when it could be? That's why you have to take the opportunity, you know, to enjoy. Remember the Most High while you have the mental capacity, right? The strength, the understanding to praise the Most High and, do good unto yourself, right? It's no point in being over righteous much and you destroy yourself,
Right.
right? It's plenty of people who are striving to be over righteous and they just fall short and they don't know what to do next, man. Sometimes people hang themselves coming short, right? Like these athletes, they train for hours on end to get the championship. They lose in the semifinals. They get on hardcore drugs because they can't take that evil that befell upon them, right? But this is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 34. Take therefore no thought for tomorrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. So there's no reason to be worrying about the next day or what'll happen next week. Now it's okay to plan ahead and have a schedule set up, but take care and acknowledge and be thoughtful of the things today, right? Because today is already full of evil, right? You could have woke up, had a great day, you brushed your teeth, washed your face, your favorite mix came on, right? You checked your account, you got paid a day early, you go outside, boom, you get hit by a car, right? Things like this happen, right? Everybody's had one of those days where everything was going perfect, right? Greatest day in the world. The next thing you know, it comes to a screeching halt, right? That's why the Lord said, remember the creators or your creator in the day of thy youth,
Right.
right? When you're young, right? In the time of your youth, you had fun with anything, man. You had toys everywhere. Let's get that in Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse number 1, right? In your youth, you had fun just running outside playing freeze tag, throwing frisbees. You had no care in the world. That's how you have to be in these last days. You got to remember the simplicity of Yahweh Shai, how everything is laid out to your understanding, and it's not the days of evil where you're running to and fro being like a pilgrim. While you have the opportunity to praise the Lord, while you have the opportunity to get yourself in order, to get your house in order, to find out where you're falling short at and correct those errors. So you have to remember your creator in these days, right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. Now remember thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Right? Jacob's trouble is approaching quicker than we believe. Right? Man, Lord willing, this start tomorrow. Man, so that's what they call contractions, right? When women go through contractions, that's when you know the baby's coming. The body is preparing to push the baby out. Jacob's trouble is the time for the elect to get pushed out of this hellhole that we live in called America, right? So you got to remember the creator in the days of your youth. While you have the opportunity to praise the Lord, while you have the opportunity to do the things that the Lord requires of you, take full advantage of it, right? At least you be in a position as Job and people coming from you 10 different ways telling you distraught news, right? Then most people, they have heart attacks hearing stuff like that.
Right, right, right.
Everything you have just was destroyed. All your children are gone, right? We just got invaded by these people, right? They do the Sanford, Fred Sanford, holding their chest with their hands up,
Yeah,
right? So remember the Creator in your youth while we have this opportunity. Use all the avenues you have. You have these YouTube channels, you have Instagram, right? Take full advantage of what the Most High has put before you, right? Because the Lord giveth and the Lord can take away in a heartbeat, right? But you got it, King.
yeah, that's right, man. That's right. Right. I want to get this in Ecclesiasticus, the 14th chapter. Right. That's why it's important to remember the Most High, man. Right. Let me get this in Job 33. Yeah, that's what I want. Job 31, Salaki. Right. This is Job. Actually, it's Job 33, Salaki. Yeah, that's what I want. Right. I have to find it. Right. This is Job chapter 33 and verse. I'll start at 28. It reads, He will bring back, I'm going to start at 27. He looketh upon men, and if any say, I have sinned, and perverted that which was right, and it profited me not. He will deliver his soul from going to the pit, and his life shall see the light. Lo, all these things worketh the Most High, oftentimes with man, to bring back his soul from the pit, to be enlightened with the light of the living. So oftentimes, every day, somebody's repenting. Oftentimes, every morning, somebody's coming back to the Most High. Somebody's examining themselves. Somebody's looking at their works and saying, you know what? I went off. And that wasn't right. I should have handled this situation better. I should have held my tongue here, right? I should have thought about this before I did it. I should have sought counsel before I made this move. The spirit of the Most High on the earth right now is the spirit of liberty, not just liberty in terms of, enjoy the sunshine, but also liberty in terms of here you have this time to the brother's point where you can come back to the Most High, right? Here it is, the Most High can give evil, he can give judgment, he can take things away, but the Most High also gives you an opportunity to come back to him, huh? And he says, oftentimes, right? So while we're doing this live, somebody's examining themselves and they're looking at what they did and whatever perversion it was, and they're casting that off. We have the option to do the same things, right? We have the a time frame to do the same thing. Oftentimes, men are always coming up to the Most High, right? It's like a deal, man. Like you have these deals, you got stuff on clearance, or it's 85% off. We're liquidating the inventory, limited time only. This is what the Most High has for you, man. So you have to go while in this limited time and get this truth and build yourself up while it can, right? Or while you can. So let me go back to Job real quick, right? So yeah, we're reading about all these all these judgments that happen to Job, right? But you have to look at it and say, you know what, man, am I going to be ready, most high willing in the spirit, when the Lord takes things away from me, man? Am I taking this time to get my spirit right, right, to repent? Because you best believe that the Most High is going to take things away from us, man. He's going to take away your home from you. You're going to be a pilgrim on earth. He's going to take away some brother's peace of mind, right? Your food that you're accustomed to eating, your bed that you're used to going into every night, man. And he may take away your woman. In the days and an hour of temptation, we have to be like Job. Job, this account is for us to understand how to accept temptation and judgment, how to fight temptation, how to accept judgment from the Most High, how to accept judgment and endure suffering. That's what this whole thing is about, right? So I want to read on in Job 2 where we left off. No, we was in Job, Salaki, we were in Job 1. Salaki. So this is Job chapter 1 and verse number 20. It reads, Salaki. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped and said, Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. Yahweh gave, Yahweh hath taken away. Blessed be the name of Yahweh, Bashmi Awashai. And all this, Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. And that's another lesson to learn here, man. Right? Job, he didn't say, man, to hell with the Most High. Why would God do this? Right? Well, what who does the Most High think that he is to take away my children from me, man? I worked hard for my house, all of my wealth and my asses and my oxen, and why would the Most High do this to me? Here it is. I shewed evil. I was righteous. I was perfect. Hey, he said what? He said, naked came out of my mother's womb, and naked I shall return thither. I mean, I came in with nothing, and I'm gonna leave with nothing. Right? That's what he's saying, man. The simplicity and the nature of life, man, in your creation. You came in with nothing, you're gonna leave with nothing. The Most High gave, and the Most High taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And you don't think Job knew about Satan? He didn't say Satan took away. He said the Lord gave, and the Lord taketh away, have taken away. And he said, pretty much he said, Brakatha Yahweh Ba'ashmi Awashai. He blessed the name of the Lord, man. And he didn't charge the Most High foolishly. Charging the Most High foolishly is essentially saying God isn't right for doing this. God shouldn't have done this. He should have known better. He should have known my situation. He should have known I was on my last dollar. Should have known my bills were due. He should have gave me that job. He know what. Hey, the Most High, look, the Most High give, the Most High taketh away. Let me get this in Job 12, right? Quick precept. Job chapter 12 and verse number 13. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. So the Most High does what he wants to do. Man. He can shut you up. He can shut your hand up physically, man. Right? You can be paralyzed. He can shut you up spiritually, your understanding, your wisdom. Shut up your bank account, your finances, and nobody can open it. Right? Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Also, he sendeth them out and overturneth the earth. This is the balance with the Most High. We're reading about the duality and the power of Yahweh Bashmi Shai, from building to breaking down, to causing a drought, to sending out waters. All things are of the Heavenly Father. He gives water, he takes away water. Right? He builds up man, he breaks man down. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So men are strong and they wax wise with the Most High, but also men get deceived by the Most High. He leadeth counselors away spoiled, and maketh judges fools. So the point is, the Most High does everything, right? You have to accept and understand that the Most High will take away things. And you might get emotional, and we're all in the flesh, man. We're all in the flesh. But when you get on a certain level, this is the level that you want to be on. You want to be on a level where you have rule over your spirit. And you say, the Lord gave, the Lord taketh away. Or you say, Thawada Yahweh Bashmi Awashai. Even when evil befalls you, Thawada Yahweh Bashmi Awashai, for allowing me to receive evil, for allowing me to suffer. You don't want to get blinded by emotions where you forget what's the word I'm looking for, what the game plan is, right? The game plan is for you to be tried. So you have to thank the Most High for choosing you to try you, because he only chose you to try you because he wants you to be stronger. So you have to thank the Most High for the affliction while you're going through it. And that's the point, that's the level that we want to be at. No matter if it's small or great, whatever evil befalls us, we have to always thank and praise the name of the Most High. But you got it, King.
Con, that's right. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 46 and start at verse 9. Right? And that's the difficult part of becoming a stoic, right? Is learning that in all aspects of life, you got to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? They don't teach you that in the world. Right? They teach you in the world when things going bad, Go get you a bottle, right? Go get some weed, pop these pills, right? Do the complete opposite of what we should be doing. Right? We're supposed to embrace, the chastening. We're supposed to embrace the love. We're supposed to embrace all things that the Most High brings before us. Right? Before we get that, let's get Sirach chapter 1, and I believe it's verse number 28, where it says, don't distrust the Lord in hard times. Loosely paraphrasing. I think it's 28. No, it's 20, 28. Yeah. Distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not into him with a double heart. So you can't start doubting and not trusting in the Lord when things aren't going your way. When things seem less than perfect, right? You're not living that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air life where you got a mansion and 10 rooms and a guest house, right? Then you start questioning the Lord and you like, well, what haven't I done, Lord? I kept the feast days. I did the Day of Atonement. I did Passover all these years. No, the Lord is going to try you. He's going to try your reins to see if you truly believe in him, if you truly trust in him, right? Because a lot of people, especially Christians, those Bible Belt Christians, right? Everything is rooted around the Bible, but when stuff goes bad, they sure do quickly turn against the Lord.
Right.
They do it quicker than ever. Well, the Lord don't know everything, do he? And start questioning. Right? Never distrust the fear of the Lord when thou art poor. Never distrust when things are down. Right? Like the brother said, Job is an example of how you're supposed to act when all hell happens. When you know what hits the fan. Right? Are you gonna run and go to Islam or Buddhism? Or are you gonna stay rooted and grounded and accept the chastening and become greater on the back end? Because you can't change the mind of the Lord. Right? And no matter how many prayers you throw up, whatever is set in the course that the Most High has to happen is gonna happen.
Right.
Right, let's go back to Isaiah chapter 46, verse number 9. Right, it says, remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me. Right? So we have to remember the former things. How the Most High destroyed our enemies, how the Most High destroyed our forefathers. We have to remember all these things. There's nobody like the Most High. There's nobody who can annihilate the whole earth and save eight. It's nobody who can stop the waters and create a pathway for his chosen people to get out and then drown all the rest of the people who were pursuing them. Right, verse number 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done. So whatever's gonna happen in the future, they're already written. It's already scribed out that it's gonna happen. Right? The things that are not done yet. If I was to walk outside and twist my ankle, the Most High had it written. What's today? September 1st?
Right.
September 1st, 2025. Um, Amos is going to walk outside and twist his ankle. It was already declared, right? Saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasures, right? If the Lord wants to exact pain on you, then he's going to do it. The Lord wants you to hit the lottery, he's going to do it, right? The Lord's counsel is going to stand. Right? And the beautiful thing about the book of Job is that the Most High never charged him with folly or foolishness coming out of his lips. He never cursed the Most High, right? He never forsook the Most High, right? Even when his friends came, they went. That's some interesting dialogue to read in Job.
Yeah.
Like
Yep. Yep.
all this is happening and y'all dialoguing like this, but it was written because it could happen to you. Don't think that you're any greater than Job because it can happen.
Right.
One more precept, Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse number 30. Right, Salaki, these allergies is tearing me up. Right, this Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse number 30. When thou art in tribulation and all things come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the Lord thy God and shall be obedient unto his voice, for the Lord thy God is a merciful God. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget thy covenant of thy fathers, which he has sworn unto thee. right? So when tribulation is going to come, because we know it's coming, right? It may be greater than others, right? The brother Naquan's tribulation may be less than my tribulation or vice versa. But if we don't forsake the Lord, he won't forsake us. He's merciful. He won't destroy you. Yes, it may feel like it's the end of the world. Yes, it may feel like, you don't know where hope is, but the Lord's not going to destroy you, or he's not going to forsake the covenant that he made with our forefathers, right? That's why we were preserved to this day. Doesn't it tell you that in Malachi, ye sons of Jacob are not destroyed or consumed, loosely paraphrasing? Because the Lord is merciful and he keeps his promises. He keeps the promises to allow us to be able to have that olive branch back to him. He gave his only begotten son. Think about the time of the Romans. How much hell our forefathers was going through during the time of the Romans. They had Roman candles. They had some crazy type of capital punishment. And the Lord still didn't forsake them. He gave his only begotten son for us to be able to get the hell up out of there, out of that persecution. So you have to remember, in the days of trouble, keep your hand to the plow, keep your heart set aright, and the Most High won't forsake you. Right? One more thing. Look at what happened to Judas Iscariot. Right? He was a thief. His heart was set on gold and riches, and forsook the Lord. And what happened to him? He gave up the ghost by his own hands. So you have to do the complete opposite. You got Job and you got Judas Iscariot. There's no in between.
Right.
Right? But you got it, King.
No, that's right. That's right, man. Job is about us, man, to the brother's point, man. Right? You can't read the book of Job and look at it and not relate it to you, man. Because everybody, the point is, like we're going into, everybody's going to have their day, man. Right? And you brothers have had your day too, man. Right? And more days are coming. Right? More days are coming. So let's go to Job chapter 2 and 1. Right? Job chapter 2 and 1. Again, there was, and you might have thought that was enough. Well, we're about to read more. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Meaning this happens every day. All the time, Satan appears before the Lord, right? And Satan is required, right? It's not optional. He's demanded and required to speak about what he's done on the earth, just like the other angels. Let me get one quick precept, right? Let me get this in Zechariah, right? Quick precept.
So like Uriah said, he was backstage.
Okay, Con, let me get him in there. Shalom. Shalom, King.
Shalom.
Con, so let me get this in Zechariah 1 real quick. Right, let me get straight to the point. This is Zechariah chapter 1, and I'm going to start at verse number 11. Right? I'm going to start at 10. I'm going to start at 9. It reads, so when you read Zechariah, he saw all these angels, all these spirits, right? We've done breakdowns on this, but he's seen white horses, red horses, speckled, that represents angels and their responsibilities and their characters. Some angels are responsible for evil. Certain angels are responsible for protection and for overcoming principalities. Other angels have diverse responsibilities. So Zechariah saw all these different angels, right? Verse number 9. Then said I, O my Lord, what are these? And the angel that talked with me said unto me, I will show thee what these be. I mean, I'm going to show you what all these horses represent, what this vision means. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, these are they whom Yahweh hath sent to walk to and fro through the earth. So to and fro is used for man, but it's also used quite often for spirits. Spirits go to and fro in the earth. So while Satan said, I'm going to and fro, he's out there fulfilling the task that the Most High told him to do, right? Just like these spirits. Verse number 11. And they answered the angel of the Lord that stood among the myrtle trees and said, We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still and is at rest. So the angels, these angels, they report to the Most High. We've done good, we've done evil, all missions are accomplished. The earth is at rest. Your will is done on the earth. Satan, he's reporting also what he's done on the earth. He said, I'm going to and fro and walking up and down in it, right? Meaning he's causing mischief in hell. Verse number 3. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. Right? And skin for skin is an old saying that means essentially you can take everything, but don't touch my skin. Right? You can take everything from me, but if you touch my skin, you touch my flesh, you touch my health, then it's going to be a problem. So Satan essentially saying is, yeah, man can still serve you when you take things away from him, but when you start affecting him directly, then he's not going to serve you. And this is true to certain men. He only said this because it's true, right? Satan is not he's not lying to the Most High, right? This isn't a lie. He doesn't lie to the Most High. So the fact that he said skin for skin is something that the Most High wants us to know. The Most High wants us to very well understand and be equipped with the knowledge that when you're going to see things taken away from you externally, cars and jobs and relationships and whatever, you still may serve the Most High. It's easy to, but when it comes to you, you have to still hold it down and still maintain your integrity. And one more point I wanted to touch on this before I pass it. Back in verse 3, it says, "And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause." So there are many things that you go through in life, and you didn't do evil to receive it, right? Things that befall you, it's not always because you sinned. Things that happen to you in life, it's not always because you're wicked and you're the most evil person. A lot of times and often, and brothers should, you examine yourself on things before you. What did I do? Maybe I wasn't, praying enough. Maybe I handled the situation wrongly, or, maybe I did this. And that's wise to do, man, to examine yourself. But also, you have to accept the fact too that the Most High is trying you. That's also a possibility. The Most High is testing you, and things may come to you without cause, but it's really for a cause. It's really for the Most High to prove you. And you still have to hold fast your integrity, no matter what happens to you, and no matter what happens to someone around you. That can't be a reason for you to sin, right? And we all know integrity is the what they say, how you act when nobody's watching. What you do. You know, so integrity is heavy in this knowledge, man. And you want to be a brother where your thoughts are still right with the Most High, your mind is still right with the Most High, you still trust in the Most High, right? Integrity is also within, not just what you do outside, is how you channel your emotions and you withhold from saying things, you trust, your faith in the Most High. All of that is internal integrity too. And that's how you respond, man, to adversity. You have to respond to adversity with integrity, right? Even though things may happen to you without cause, right? But brothers got it.
Con. Let's go to Second Chronicles chapter 16 and start at verse number 8, right? And we got to remember that we're never alone, right? The Most High has messengers and angels all around observing everything, right? Not just a kid helping an old lady across the store or across the street to the store, right? The Lord has angels everywhere watching what's going on and exacting judgment, right? There's death angels out right now with somebody's hand on the trigger, waiting to snatch that soul. Right? So it's never a point of how can I not be seen? Like the brother said, it's integrity. What can I do so when I am being seen that it's recorded in good works? Right? But this is Second Chronicles chapter 16 and verse number 9. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him, wherein thou hast done foolishly. Therefore, from hence thou shalt have wars. Right? So essentially, you get what you put out. Right? Can you go to quid pro quo, Bob Gashaw? Right? Being in this truth, you're in a quid pro quo. Right? So quid pro quo is a Latin phrase meaning something for something or an exchange of goods and services. So we're in this truth to get something. We're not in this truth for no reason. Right? We're not just keeping these law, statutes, and commandments just to say I'm more righteous than the next person. Right? We're not keeping the Sabbath day just to say I got that over you because you're not doing it. No, we're keeping these high holy days, the law, statutes, and commandments to make sure we get the just reward that the Most High said we will receive if we faint not. So it's the same thing in this world. You doing foolishly, you acting idiotic, right? You being righteous only around brothers or sisters you know to keep the commandment. You're gonna have wars within your members, right? You're gonna have demons tormenting you, right? You're gonna have all manner of hell happening because of your actions, right? And like the brother said earlier, certain things happen to you may not be because you did good or bad. It may be to test your integrity. It may be to test to see how malleable you are, right? Are you gonna bend and break? Or are you gonna bend and then go back to how you were, right? Because everybody on here probably lift weights before, right? The bar is 45 pounds. So when you add more plates onto the bar starts to bend. Right? I've never seen a weight bar or weight bench bar snap because it was too much weight. Have y'all, brothers?
Never seen it.
Never seen it. And that's how the Lord has the angels going to and fro. He's going to see how far you can bend if you're going to be like that weight bar. Are you going to bend to the point when the weights come off, you go back to where you were before? Or are you going to keep bending and bending and bending and just turn into a limp, right? See, look at that. That's how weight bars look when there's a lot of weight on it, right? They start to bend. And that's how you have to be in this truth. Because the Lord, he's gonna start bending. There's gonna be a lot of bending that's about to happen. Right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 9, and we can start at verse number 3. Right? Let's start forward. Ezekiel 9 and 4. Right? And as you can see in the subheading, it said the vision of slaughter. Right? The vision of slaughter. That's the same thing that's coming into spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom. A slaughter is coming. Right? So this is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Right? So who is that going through setting a mark on the foreheads? Right? Is that one of the scribes or the priests running through just tapping people's heads? No, that's one of the sons of God we were reading about in Job, the second chapter. The angels that present themselves. Right? They're setting the marks of the people who see the abominations going on and they're mourning and lamenting for seeing it. And to the other, he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Right? So once that angel sets that mark, they're sealed. They're good. The ones who don't have it, they're being destroyed. They're being slaughtered. Right? Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. Right? So the Lord isn't a respecter of persons. Right? He slayed all Job's cattle. He slayed all Job's children. Right? The Lord doesn't care. If you're going off, The Most High has the remedy for you. He has the exact remedy, right? You know, when you were sick, you might have got some chicken noodle soup with some pepper in it to clear your headache or something. Well, I don't know, just making up a remedy. Put some onions in your socks, right? The Lord has the right remedy for those who aren't moving according to how He wants them to, or who's moving according to His will, so that they be judged, right? But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So, what's the sanctuary of the Lord, right? It's the elders and the old men who are establishing the truth and those who understand the truth. And this goes back to what the brother Ryan was saying last Monday Night Fly, last Monday Night Fire, right? We got to start sighing and crying for the things we see, right? We got to accustom ourselves to start mourning and lamenting when we see these abominations, right? Because we shouldn't be okay with seeing men walking around with dresses. Man, we were closing out the Hell on the Harbor with the cookout, and you had all manner of lewdness and wickedness going on. And we kept saying this is an example of us being in the truth in the world. I forgot the analogy that brother said. Brother could say that they remember, but you could see the difference. You could see the light. But that's how it's going to be. It's going to begin at us, right? The Lord said the judgment is going to start with the house of the Lord. So if the judgment, oh, you got it?
Oh no, yeah, I was just gonna say, it was said that it was a reference to what Peter said when he said, "We know it is an unlawful thing for one that is a Jew to keep company of one of another nation."
Con. And that's that was the purest example I've ever seen in my life, right? But the sanctuary of the Lord is going to be where judgment starts. It's going to start with those who know and understand, who have converted back to the ways that we were supposed to be, right? And that's why the Most High allows Satan to touch Job, because he was walking in the way that he was supposed to be. And he said, "This is his test. This is gonna see where he really is." But at the end of the day, the Most High already knew. We already read that earlier. The counsel is going to stand from what was written from the foundation of the earth to even in the latter times. Right? But brothers got it.
It's mighty points. Let's go to Ezekiel, right? Chapter 24, verse number 16. Ezekiel chapter 24, right? And I start at verse number 16. Right. And when you read the scriptures, that's all you see, right? Is brothers catching hell, our fathers catching hell, our foremothers catching hell. It says, "Son of man, behold, I take away from thee the desire of thine eyes." Now, for Ezekiel, that was his wife. And you don't know what the desire of your eyes could be. It could be that new job you just got, right? You're joyful in the morning, you're waking up. I finally got it. I love it. It's peaceful and loving. I don't work that hard. You put too much of a relaxing spirit and comfort into something that's carnal. You're really supposed to hate work, man. You're supposed to work hard and appreciate, right? So that the Most High can give you the increase. But no king wants to work. No prince, no noble desires to get his hands dirty and be told what to do. Right? So he said, look, I take away the desire of your eyes. That could be your children. Some people actually put their children above their husbands, right? Or above their wives, above the Most High. Like the Lord said, he that love father and mother or more than me is not worthy of me. The Lord would have never said that if that wasn't an actual spirit. Some people just can't stop the desire of their eyes, whatever that may be. And the Most High take that away from you. Just to have you to wake up and realize that you need to focus on him. Yet, it's like you with a stroke, yet neither shall thou mourn nor weep. And that was a heavy commandment the Most High gave, Ezekiel, for him not to mourn and weep, man. That's damn near impossible. But he was strong enough to take that commandment on. Again, there's certain things that are placed upon you, 1 Corinthians 10 and 13 all the way down. If you couldn't bear it, the Lord wouldn't have never put it on you, man. Right? You're wondering how, brothers always say, man, my grandmother was so strong. My grandmother was so strong. Not to take anything away from the women, because they very are strong, but how much more you and you being a man? Not only are you a man, but you know this truth. You call yourself a saint. You call yourself a child of God. How much more will be placed on you? See, grandma had to work 2 jobs. Grandma had to cook. Grandma had to take care of your father, man. Grandmother had to clean up behind you. The things she had to do, she didn't have time for herself. And that's in wickedness in the world. How much more in righteousness and this truth, how much that's going to be placed upon you? It says, neither shall thy tears run down, forbear to cry. And again, this is a heavy commandment placed upon you, man. See, the Lord could take away your daughter tonight. And then the Lord say, forbear to cry. If you're not in the spirit and you're not having mercy and grace from the Heavenly Father, all you'll do is question why. Well, I mean, why not you answering me? You'll start to break down. You'll start to smolder in your chest. Double think yourself. Is this the Most High talking to me, or is this Satan? Speak up. Pronounce yourself. You start going insane, man. Start plucking out the beard, right? Start ripping out the hair on your head. See, this was heavy, man. For him to be able to do this commandment and still continue to prophesy, man. And that's exactly what he did. He went harder. He got stronger. And more evil came, and he bared it. It says, make no mourning for the dead, bind thy tie of thy head upon thee, and put on thy shoes upon thy feet, and cover not thy lips. Meaning continue to prophesy, man. Just like in Job, the 2nd chapter, like when it says, paraphrasing greatly, can you get it real quick? Job 2:11. I don't want to paraphrase it, butcher it. But they didn't say anything to Job because they knew he was in mourning. Right, this is the book of Job 2:11. It says, now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place, Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shilite, and Zophar the Nethamite, for they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him and to comfort him. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off and knew him not, they lifted up their voice and wept, and they rent every man his mantle and sprinkled dust upon his head toward heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him. Right? So if a brother just lost his wife, her husband, children, or whatever the case may be, that brother may not be inclined to have a conversation. He may be ready to snap, or anything you say could trigger an emotion. It says, for they saw that his grief was very great. Right? And the Most High gave mercy, right, for that to be his situation. But that wasn't Ezekiel's situation. Ezekiel couldn't bide a tie and hold his mouth. He had to continue to prophesy, man. And when you think about it, really, how much do brothers deal with that are actual teachers that put all that to the side and continue to teach, man? Brothers, in Israel have been teaching for years. I've been teaching through, losses of the family. Brothers lose jobs. Brothers may have marital problems. A lot of things brothers deal with, but you can't tell nor can you see. It's like a brother fasting. Like the Lord said, anoint thy head and act like nothing's going on. You got to be able to bear those things in the spirit. And that's a large amount of what Job did. Well, I don't want to get this quick precept in Job chapter 13 and verse 15. Right? Job chapter 13 and verse number 15. It says, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain my own ways before him. So if the Lord continue to smite you, without a cause and or with a cause, you have to continuously trust in him, man. And his ways are higher than your ways. His thoughts higher than your thoughts. You're not going to be able to understand nor comprehend, nor be able all the time to get an answer. Like the brother be mentioning a lot of the times, the Lord wanted the cup to pass from him, but the Lord never answered that. There's certain things that are not going to be answered. Your child may say, can I get a cookie? Can I get a cookie? You may not even respond. Guess what? They're going to get the gist of it, that they're not getting that cookie, man. Sometimes you may pray and ask for, a way out of a situation and or clarification on the matter. But hey, the Most High doesn't have to explain anything to you, man. He may through a dream, through a brother, through counsel, or by bethinking yourself, but he may not. But with that mentality, it said, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. And that we're going to enter into the days of being slayed, man, which are really the days of being tried. And just because you're slayed and beaten down doesn't mean that's to destroy you, man. It's to build you up and strengthen you, right? I got one more precept in the book of Sirach, chapter 18. Right? Sirach chapter 18 and start at verse, see what I want. Start at 13. It says, the mercy of a man is toward his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. He reproveth, meaning the Most High is going to get on you, right? He's going to chastise you. You're going to be afflicted. You're going to be smitten righteously and nourished. So there always a just balance. Not just going to beat you down, slay you and slay you and slay you. And that's your end lot, man. To be slayed with the wicked. You're wondering when his hand is going to get off of your neck. It says he reproveth and nurtureth and teacheth. So, I mean, if anything, you may say, well, damn, now I know how to deal with this situation. Now I know how to deal with that situation. It gives you experience. And two, experience isn't always just traveling to Europe, man, or holding a unity camp. Experience could be two, overcoming a situation and having experience in that so that you could give counsel to the next brother. It says, and bringeth again as a shepherd his flock. And the whole point of a shepherd, you know, he may tap the flock, may guide the sheep with the hook, may be uncomfortable at first, but the end all is to have them on that straight and narrow path. Brothers got it.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. My brother's bringing out beautiful precepts. So let's go back to this in Job, the 2nd chapter, right? We're going to read Job 2 and 4 again. It reads, and Satan answered Yahweh and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. Because again, Satan, his works are limited, right? He's only allowed to do what the Most High allows him to do. Going back to the initial point, if Satan has his own will to rebel and to go against the Most High, then why would the Most High command him just to save his life if Satan could do what he wanted to do, right? Right? Reading on to verse 7. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. So now Satan is invading, man. You know how you take down the city, you take down the suburbs, then you march your way towards the city, and then you knock the walls down, and then you sack the city. That's how Satan get Job, man. He started far off, out in the field. He take his oxen, man. Far off, he take away his she asses. He getting closer, now he touching his sons. Now he touching his daughters. Now he coming after his health, man. This is like an invasion. This is spiritual warfare, man. Right? This is spiritual warfare. Satan is doing what you call a military conquest. This is a military campaign. The same way our fathers took down this side of Moab, on this side of the Jordan River, and Arnon, and the brook of this, and they crossed, and they took Jericho, and they took Ai and Bethel, and all these different cities, man. That was a military campaign that Joshua did. It was strategic. And all military campaigns are strategic, right? So, right, they don't just drop a nuke, man, right? They do EMP attacks first, then they cut your power grid off, and they attack your communication centers and your transportation hubs, and then they invade your city. They show you that in the movie. What's that movie? Leave the World Behind. You know. They cut off all communication. They cut off all TVs. They did psychological warfare. They dropped all these pamphlets down, and then they invaded by land and by sea. So Satan, again, he is a strategist when it comes to war, and he targeted Job's health, man. Right? Let me get this in 2 Corinthians. Actually, let me get this in Job 7 first. Right? So your health that's affected, it very well could be of your sins. Yahweh told a man, go and sin no more, lest the worst thing happen unto thee. In Job, it's like in John, the 5th chapter, 14 on down. So certain ailments you go through, it could be because of your sins. But also certain ailments you go through could be you being tested and you being tried. Quick precept, this Job chapter 7 and verse number 4. When I lie down, I say, when shall I arise and the night be gone? I am full of tossing to and fro until the dawning of the day. So this is man catching hell. Same thing in Deuteronomy 28, believe 65 on down. In the morning thou shalt say with God it were evening. In the evening thou shalt say with God it were morning. You will never get no rest, right? My flesh is clothed with worms and clouds of dust. My skin is broken and become loathsome. So the most I can touch your skin, and the most I can give you a what's they call that? Damn man, um, psoriasis, eczema, right? The most I can give you skin cancer, man. I know a brother in his knowledge, he got skin cancer, man. He's fighting. He's fighting a good fight mightily, man. You know, so the most I could he could do anything to anybody. There was a brother we knew, we talked about it before, he had sickle cell. And we know a brother that got sickle cell. So the most I, man, brothers be all jammed up, man. And some brothers have permanent ailments that never go away. No matter how much wine you drink, how many herbs you take, how long you soak, what massage you get, and that pain is still there. My days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle and are spent without hope. Oh, remember that my life is wind. Mine eye shall no more see good. Right? Let me jump down. I'm going to jump down to verse number 15. I'm going to start, 15. So that my soul chooseth strangling and death rather than life. So when the Lord smote Job with those boils, and I never had boils from the sole of my foot to the crown of my head. I don't even know what kind of pain that is, man. And we all grew up, brothers had, pimples and damn stuff. And you touch it, it hurt, man, or blackheads and certain things, but not boils, man. A boil is large. And you can't just damn pop a boil or nothing like that, man. And certain boils make people itch. So you can't even walk. You got them on the bottom of your feet and the top of your head. So your soul might choose death rather than life, man. I loathe it. I would not live always. Let me alone, for my days are vanity. What is man that thou shouldest magnify him, and that thou shouldest set thine heart upon him? Right? So Job is essentially saying, well, why the Most High worried about me, man? Right? I'm just dust and ashes. Why does he have to put me under the microscope? Right? And that thou shouldest visit him every morning and try him every moment. So brothers can get tried every moment, man. There's a thing called bad days, man. And some people, man, they break down at the end of their bad day, man. Their car didn't start. Then their car got a flat. Then they made it to their job. Then they got fired. And then they had to catch the bus. Then the bus splat. They missed the bus. They running for the bus, and the bus hit the curb with the water, and the water splashed on them like a damn TV show. Then they got to walk home, and as they walking home, the bottom of their shoe fall off, and the shoe start talking. Then they take their keys out their pocket, and they fumbling through the keys, and they drop the keys. And then when they drop the keys, they just break down, and they start crying, man. And they just sit in the front of their door. They don't even go inside. They just sit down, and they just start weeping and wailing. Because the Most High could try you every moment, man. You was able to endure all those other things, and then you get damn finished, man. You have to be mindful of the Most High, man. The Most High can withhold his hand from you, or the Most High can keep his hand on you. It reads, how long wilt thou not depart from me, nor let me alone till I swallow down my spittle? So Job fell to the point where he was being stalked by the Most High, man. Couldn't even swallow his damn spit, man, which is an insignificant, damn near involuntary action that you don't even think about. But the Most High saying Job is the Most High is pressing Job out every second of his life, man. And you can feel like that in this truth, man. Right? You can't feel like that in this truth, especially if you got hit from the sole of your foot to the crown of your head with damn boils, man. That'll drive a brother insane. Having a sickness and then you overcome, then you get sick again. You might start questioning the Most High. Why would the Lord do this? You know, and I want to get this one quick precept, and brothers got it. This 2 Corinthians chapter 12, right? So brothers can feel like that, man. You might feel like that, but you have to keep your trust in the Most High. You might feel like the Most High has a personal hit out for you, man, right? But the Most High is just trying you. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse number 7. Unless that should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. Right. So the Most High sent the demon on Paul to affect Paul, right? To humble him, right? So people want to look at Paul and put him on a status of Yahweh Shah, right? Verse number 8. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. And Paul was a righteous man. Surely the first time the Lord would have heard him and let that demon go. Then the second time, you would have thought the Lord heard him and let the demon go. And the third time, you would have thought the Lord heard him and let the demon go. The Lord does hear you, man. You know, this goes to Ariah's point. The Most High does hear you, man. But the Most High don't always have to answer you, right? Here's the point, verse number 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. So you can look at it how Job was looking at it, like, man, the Most High stalking me. Who the hell, the Most High think he is? I can't breathe. Give me a break. Or you can look at it like this. And we prefer, brothers, through the Spirit of the Most High, that you look at it like this. And you understand that whatever you're dealing with, the grace of the Most High is sufficient for you. Sometimes being in this truth, that's sufficient. What comes with the truth is evil, pain, suffering, and affliction, man. So you being in this truth, that's enough. And it says, for my strength is made perfect in weakness, right? And that's for everybody, man. When you're at your weakest point, that's when the Most High requires you to trust in him and to be the strongest, not physically, but spiritually. Every brother at your weakest point, you're required to dig in, fight hard, and call upon the name of the Most High and use the Most High for your strength, man. You gotta keep your body under subjection. Brothers, to Amos' point about lifting weights, brothers bench press, man. But you gotta tell yourself one more, two more. When that burn come in, you doing them reps, your body about to give in. You have to tell your body, do one more, do two more. Yeah, you're feeling weak, but you have to push to do those extra reps to make you stronger. So when you're at your weakest point, that's time for you to be the strongest, man. It's easy when a burn kick in, the damn just drop the bar on your damn throat or the damn things, man. Or you can say one more, two more, and then you can get those reps in. And then you become stronger, even though you were in your weakest point. So you have to glory in that, right? That's why they say love the pain. No pain, no gain. You have to love the pain. You have to glory. And when you doing them push-ups and you feel that burn, you got to say, here it go. Here we that burn. That's what I've been waiting on. Glory in that, man. Don't say ouch when you're feeling the burn. Ow, ow. That's a weak mentality, man. Hey, one more point. Certain brothers don't count their reps to the burn kick in. Then that's one. See, the other ones don't count. When the burn kick in, then it's 1, 2, 3. And they glory in that burn. Here it come. I know I'm going to be stronger. You got to look at it in this truth, man. When the Most High start taking stuff away from you, going through pain, suffering, affliction, you got to look at it and accept it. Say, keep going, keep pushing, because that's the Most High making you stronger. The brothers got it. Oh, Slaki, one more. Verse 10. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities and reproaches and necessities and persecutions and distresses for Hamashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong. Brothers got it.
Con, that's a mighty points right there. Let's go to Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 25. You mind before we go to that, can we go to what boils actually looks like? Some people may not know what they look like.
Or I don't know what images. Oh yeah.
Yes, you can tell that's painful. Look that blistering, right, red.
Look at
Look at
that.
that. Look at right on that man's face. Right, they probably full of pus and um, just liquid. And I saw something they call like abscess or something like that, abscess or something like that. But when you squeeze it out, it's more infectious disease than that. When you squeeze it out, then that's actually inside. And you can tell that stuff is painful. Imagine having that all from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. I couldn't imagine.
It's like I was about to say, you can't lay down, you can't sit in a chair. And I had to been on his backside, his back.
You gotta
Mm,
do it on Jake, because so brothers can really see it. Because Job looked like us.
God. Yeah,
Mm.
that's gotta be pain. It's gotta be painful to take showers, all that, man. And then he scrubbed it off.
And then, hey, some of that stuff can stink, man. And flies, it can attract flies and beast.
Oh, you mind going back up? Look, it's one on her eye, man. That thing could burst and get into her eyeball. Yeah, sheesh.
Well, let me
Man, I couldn't imagine.
time.
Yeah, well, I, I only wish Esau gets that, man. But this
Right.
is Sirach chapter 39 and verse 25.
Get that real quick.
God. Well, yeah, those are great points though. But like the brother was saying, most people they don't start counting until the burn happens. It's a old uh professional football player. His name is James Harrison, right? He's a huge workout freak. So what he used to do, they had slides that they would push, and he would stack the weights up there, 45-pound weights. He'll start with the halfway point, and he'll go all the way up the football field and back. That's about 200 yards. He says, now this is when I really start working out. So every time he goes up and back, he'll add 3 more weights. Right to the point, it's like 25, 45-pound weights on it. He pushing 100 yards. That's how you got to be when you feel that low state. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep fighting. Right? Because once you give up, that could be the last time you give up. Right? There's plenty of people who die from sorrow, die from depression because they gave up. Right? This is Sirach 39. Oh, you got it.
Like real quick, it was not to cut you off, but I just want to read
Good.
this real quick. So I looked up, can boils make you sick? It says yes, boils can make you sick, and in some cases lead to serious and even life-threatening complications. You might feel unwell with a general sick feeling, fatigue, or fever. Severe complications include the bacteria spreading into your bloodstream, causing sepsis, infecting your brain, or spreading to other organs. Seek medical attention for boils on your face. That's what Job had. Large or painful boils, boils that worsen, or if you develop a fever, as these can signal a more serious infection.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now that's crazy, man. It's crazy. And what's even more wild about that, that's your body fighting off those diseases and whatever uh, uh sicknesses in your body. Where our body is the most perfect source to fight off infectious diseases, right? But what's Esau do? He tries to give you these medicines to help your body fight it, which breaks down the white blood cell counts, the red blood cell counts, all the things to help your body.
Right.
I'm no doctor or anything. I don't know the deep roots of it, but our body is made to reheal itself. That's what fasting is for. That's why when you lift weights, your muscles rip and they come back together. Right? Your body is set forth for that. But sometimes, your body gives out. Let's go to I'm gonna keep this. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 31. I'm gonna start at verse 6. Sometimes your body can't fight it. That's why the Lord said, give strong drink to them who are ready to perish. I'm going to just read it, right? This is Proverbs 31 and verse 6. Give strong drink unto them that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts, right? So, you may have somebody who's battling stage 4 cancer or something, and it's really not much you can do for them, right? That's why the Lord said, give them strong drink for the ready to perish. Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery not, right? So when you're going through it, there's nothing wrong with having a glass of wine, right? There's nothing wrong with stopping by the grocery store or the liquor store, get you a red Moscato, or I don't know, a red blend. Take a sip of wine, right? That's why I was bringing out Sirach 39:25, right? It tells you the things that are for the good are used for the good. Loosely paraphrasing. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. So the Most High gave us wine, strong drink, and things of that nature to sometimes to cope with the ailments that we're going through, to deal with it, right? If you having a horrible, miserable day and you get home, first and foremost, pray that the Most High removes that from you. But it's nothing wrong with having a strong drink. It's nothing wrong with having a glass of wine to ease that level of pain, right? Take a deep breath. Glad that day is done. Everybody's done it before, so these things were created for the Most High, from the Most High for us, that we can use them in righteousness. Right, verse 26, the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron and salt, flour and wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape and oil of clothing. So all these things are essential for a man's life, right? You got water, hydrate your thirst, fire to keep you warm, to cook with, iron and salt, flour and wheat, honey and milk, all things you can make food with, and the blood of the grape, oil and clothing. That's all you need. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned to evil, right? So all of this is for the godly, but the sinners, they get the butt end of it. They take it and they make it to how they want to make it. That's why the Lord said this in verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Right? So boils, all these different ailments and things that we see, these are spirits that were created for vengeance. Right? The Lord told us in Deuteronomy that you'll have every sickness written in that book and some that are not written in there. Loosely paraphrasing. Right? Liver disease, right? Like the brother said, skin cancer, alopecia. Me and my wife were looking at something on her phone, and they said it's an uptick in AIDS because the hairstylists aren't properly cleaning out their utensils that they use to do people's hair with. Where imagine going to the barber shop and you getting a haircut and you get nicked by the clippers. Now you got HIV. Right? All these things, these spirits were created for vengeance. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. So the Most High has all these different diseases and sicknesses created just for those who want to work and do evil. For all those who don't want to solely serve the Lord. Right? You go into pig fries and or pig cookouts, luau's. Right? Now you wondering why you got worms in your brain. Right now, you're wondering why your stomach is falling down into your calves and your intestines on your big toe. Right, man, we done seen some crazy stuff at the harbor. But all of these were created for vengeance, and that's why the Most High allows Satan to put that on Job. That's a spirit created for vengeance. Right, but you got it, King.
Khan, that's right. Let's go to the mighty book, right, of Job, right? chapter 12 and verse 12. Right, the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse number 12. Right, and it reads, it says, with the ancient is wisdom, talking about the Most High, and in length of days understanding. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Behold, he breaketh down. To the point brothers are going into, the Most High is the one that breaks you down. Brother, you could drink all of the juices, your pineapple juice, right? You could drink your watermelon juice, your herbs, right? You could drink all healthy things and have a balanced diet, but that doesn't mean anything. The Lord will still break you down. How your joints all hardened up, you can't stretch, you tear a muscle. The Lord will do that to you, man. Right? A lot of people that have low vitamin levels, right now your bones breaking, you're brittle, and cannot be built again. Right? Your last basketball shot could be your last, man. For you break your ACL, your ligament, your kneecap, but the Lord will crumble up your bones. It says, he shutteth up a man that's spiritually, mentally, financially, right, emotionally. Lord will bind you up, man. And there can be no opening. Right? A lot of people, when they get in those hospitals, they never get back out, man. It's kind of scary going to a hospital when you get older. You tend to decline. You're not eating the same. You're not exercising. You're not lifting up. You're not stretching. You're not doing anything on your own. You're dependent. The more dependent you are, the less likely you are to do for yourself, right? I mean, you're not exercising, and that starts to overthrow you, man. It says, behold, he breaketh down, it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, there could be no opening. Behold, he withholding the waters, and they dry up, right? That's talking about wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and life and health. The Lord withhold the waters from you. Also, he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth. So the Lord could reverse things. He can make things a wilderness, or he can make things as springs of living waters. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So somebody that got overthrown, you're giving out your information on the phone for somebody you think is a bill collector. You got deceived, that was the Most High. You swipe your card at a 7-Eleven. You really wanted to go to the Costco's, but you said the 7-Eleven was closer, and you swiped it, and those East Indians got all your information. That was the Most High. It's nothing that happens on this earth that isn't ordained by the Most High, man. I mean, from every branch, every leaf falling off the tree, every thought you have, every emotion, every dream, it's all moved and shifted by the Most High. So if you're deceived and overthrown about something, that was the Most High doing the deceiving. A lot of people are deceived and thinking they can actually win a fight. And then what happens? Pride. You get stabbed to death. You get shot in the head, man. You're deceived thinking the way you could get away with murder. You're deceived thinking the way you could get away with robbery and all of these different things. And then you get jammed up, tossed into prison. So judgment, yes, it comes from the angels, but it also comes from the Most High putting spirits on you and shifting and moving you. Everything in is in a damn tornado, or a tree stump breaks into your living room as you're having dinner with your family. You also have deceived spirits. Some people think they can actually do that jump and that leap off that building to the next one, and that be their demise and their death. So when we talk about these spirits on the earth, they are a high level of spirits. Nobody can name all of the spirits. You can't say lust, envy, strife, drunkenness, murder, and then you just name about 17 of them, and then it ends all. You got folly demons. You got demons that are full of things you have no idea how far lust gets, man. You got pedophilia, right? You got sodomy. I mean, you just keep digging and keep digging. There are more wicked spirits that are running to and fro throughout this earth, man. And one of the main spirits are being deceived that are on the earth, man. From false apostles, right? These Christian apologists, these so-called Christians, right? And even Jake and his truth, right? You're getting tossed to and fro. He leadeth counselors away spoiled and maketh judges fools. He looseth the bond of kings and girdeth their loins, right, with a girdle. He leadeth princes away spoiled and overthroweth the mighty. So the Lord overthrew Job, man. He let Satan have reign for a season in a moment of time, right, to test his integrity, right? And again, that can happen to us. And there's no set level or time where the Lord says, okay, I will give man 3 days. And that's the book of Leviticus. No, this could be for years. This could be for life, man. Some people's lot is to be with a wicked woman. They can't divorce her. They can't get rid of her. She's a lion. She's a dragon. She's evil. She don't listen to the commandments. What could you do? You know, certain people's lot is not how you would want it, but you got to deal with it, man. A lot of people have a lot of children they can't take care of, can't get rid of them. It's a lot jammed up against the wall. People's situations they have. A lot of people want to read more, do more for the Most High, but they have to work 2-3 jobs just to provide for their family. Everybody's in a bind in some type of way, man. Whether that's your mind, whether that's your spirit being vexed, whether that's your flesh. You feel that pressure getting pressed against the wall, man. And if you don't feel that, you're not in this truth, man. If you're just walking up and down sunshines and rainbows, then the Most High most likely isn't dealing with you. Now, you do have moments and seasons and, times where you do have, liberty in the spirit of, that Most High having compassion and, joy, but nevertheless, you still got to deal with that, right? Right. I want to get this quick precept in the book of Job. So like Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, in verse 18. Right? It's Ecclesiastes 5 and 18. Behold, that which I have seen, it is good and comely for one to eat and to drink and to enjoy the good of all his labor, that he taketh under the sun all the days of his life. So that's a good thing, man. You want to eat, drink, enjoy yourself, man. That's the blessing of the Lord, which God giveth them, for it is his portion. So you do have your portion. But guess what? The Lord can take away your portion. And guess what? That's all you have. You don't have riches. You don't have a mansion. You don't have a yacht. You don't have all this land. All you have is that portion to eat and drink. Guess what? The Lord can take that away from you. You can go insane, man. It was a study. I probably can't look it up and or think of it, but brothers could look it up on their spare time. It was a study. If people didn't have Friday and Saturday and Sunday, or Saturday and Sunday, and they had to go to work 7 days a week, they said this society would not last. People would be robbing. There would be no rest and liberty and relaxation. People would be like, man, F working. Right? Where's my check? Or I'm taking a day off. It would overthrow businesses. All hell would break loose. People need some type of relaxation at times, man. So if the Lord take that away from you, again, being mental, it could drive you insane. Every man also to whom God has given riches and wealth, and have given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion. So the Lord gave you the power to eat. Lord gave you the power to drink. It's not always physical, right? Your steak and your mashed potatoes. Power to eat and drink is to enjoy yourself in his life. And the Most High could take that away from you. Every man also to whom God hath given riches and wealth, and have given to him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of God. And guess what? The Lord can take away gifts, man. For he is not much remembered the days of his life, because God answered him in the joy of his heart. So what is it saying? That's the Lord answering his requests, his hard work, his labor. And Job was a hard worker, man. Job had cattle. Job had land. You understand? All of these things the Most High could take away from you, but that does what? That's the joy of your heart. Those are the things the Lord could take away. And again, those were the joy of his heart. Those were the things that he had. And the Lord could very well take them away. You can get Ecclesiastes chapter, let me see what I want. 6 and verse 1. Ecclesiastes is fire. So it's another quick precept I want real quick. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 1. There is an evil which I've seen under the sun, and it is common among men. So this evil, the Lord is saying, it says it happens all the time. This isn't something that was just written thousands of years ago. A man to whom God hath given riches and wealth and honor, so that he wanteth nothing for his soul of all that he desireth. That's not necessarily just talking about you desire a yacht, a plane, and you desire all of this money. You may not even desire that. All you may desire is for your house to be in order. All you may desire is that your children eat every night, right? That you have a roof to cover your shame. The desires of your heart, like we just read in the other precept, are fulfilled. You know, man desires that. Yet God giveth him not power to eat thereof. And again, to that point I made earlier, eating isn't always physical. You may not have power to eat thereof, meaning enjoy that job, because the Lord took it away from you, right? Enjoy your liberty, because now you're, in a wheelchair, or your body jammed up, or your arm jammed up, or you have back problems and spasms. But a stranger eateth it, right? These are the nations. They enjoy the fruit, right, of our labors and the things we go through. It says, this is vanity and it is an evil disease. So God is classifying you not being able to enjoy your hard work, which is your gift, man, your wife, your children. He calls that an evil disease. So not only was Job going through diseases physically, but there are spiritual diseases, man, spiritual plagues. And these things broke Job down too, man. Right? So, I mean, yeah, you could break down a man physically, you could snap his bones and pierce his side and flay his skin, and that'll cause, tears to come out. But you also, too, right, spiritually, people sigh and cry and get beaten down. And like the Lord said, this is an evil disease. Brothers got it.
Khan is right. Is right. So let's go back to the book of Job, the second chapter. Right. Let's go back to Job, the second chapter. We're going to pick right back up through the spirit and power of Yahweh and his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. Right. This is Job chapter 2 and verse 7 again. So when Satan forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown, and he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. And this is supposed to be the death blow right here. Right? Remember that warfare from the plains of your city being burnt with fire, to the walls being broken down, to them inside the interiors, corridors of your city. Now they coming after the king's palace, right? And that's they coming to kill the king. Regicide. This is supposed to be what you call regicide, the killing of a king. Yo, what now does Satan put a spirit on his woman? Dost thou still retain that integrity? Curse God and die, man. So now Satan hopped on his woman. A lot of people say Job had his woman was wicked, and why would his woman do that? It wasn't his woman, it was Satan hopping on his woman, man. Right? And if you get weak and give your strength over to your woman in days of adversity, then you a damn fool, man. Old people call you a sucker, man. You don't want to be a sucker in Israel, man. Right here you are catching the hell. You gonna read? You still gonna be in the camp? They didn't let you teach today, but you're greater than all of those men. You know, I don't know what a woman would say, man. I don't know. A wicked woman, she'll say, what?
Stay home with me.
Yeah, stay home with me, man. Why are you going out with the brothers? Right? Don't you want to be with me? Here's what I have for you. Right? Even when you're going through hell, man. You know what? This truth is enough, man. Remember in Christianity, she started bringing up old times. Remember we used to go to church together. Remember the pastor? What was his name again? She know his name, but she wants you to say his name to put a spirit out there. Pastor Robinson. Yeah, Pastor Robinson. Right? And now you start thinking about damn Pastor Robinson, man. Maybe we should just go there. This truth. Let's just go back to church just one time. Let's just do it once and just see what happened. Look, we could come back and get back go to camp, but let's just go to church tomorrow, right? Because it's the Sabbath day, so we'll just go tomorrow. Okay. So a lot of brothers, you give your strength over to your woman in adversity, man. She said, "Why don't you just curse out the Most High and drop dead?" It's probably the most wicked thing I've ever that you really might read in the Bible, man. One of the most wicked things. All right, brother, got something on this before I move on to the next verse?
Nah.
Nah.
It reads, let me just get one classic, right? Let me just get the classic. Actually, let me get this in First Kings, I believe that's 21 and 25. Right? Quick precept. First Kings 21 and 25. But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of the Lord, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. So your wife could stir you up, man. It could be a demon of her to stir you up. And when you stir up ingredients, what does it do, man? All of those chemicals, all of those flavors, they essentially get activated. Energy is released and it causes a reaction, right? That's with food, that's with chemicals, that's anything. You stir it to cause a reaction. So Satan, he'll hop on your woman to stir you up and cause you to respond or to react in a situation that's not always in the will of the Most High. Don't let your wife stir you up to do evil. She can stir you up to do righteousness. Abigail stirred up David, before the marriage, but to stir him up to not destroy Nabal, man, and everything that pisseth against the wall. Moses' wife, man, says, surely thou art a bloody husband unto me. And she circumcised his son, it made him mindful of the circumcision. So your wife can stir you up to righteousness, but your wife can also stir you up to do evil, man. And Satan, he will use your wife. She knows exactly what to say to you to get you to go off. No other person can make you go off, but your woman, she knows how to hit that nerve, that button, that somewhere deep in the cut, past memories, things you've done, certain events that may have happened, certain things that you may have confided in her about. All of that could come full circle and hit you right in the top of your damn head, man, and concuss you. So brothers, be mindful, man. Be mindful of how Satan can use your woman. He be right for the Sabbath day, man. And your woman got an attitude for no damn reason, man. Stumping around the house, right? And you try to now you want to figure out what's wrong, what's going on, brother. You don't have to figure out what's going on right now, brother. You got to go to camp. You got to do the work. You don't have to always entertain, because God's going to turn into something you don't really want to know anyway, do you? Right? What you mean by that? Here you go again. No, here you go again. Then it turned into something, man. So again, stop letting your woman stir you up, man. It'd be a feast day, your woman stirring you up, or a Satan, rather. Salaki. Satan is on your woman to stir you up, huh? Right? I just want to make that point. Moving on. Job chapter 2 and 10. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. So we spoke about that, right? We receive good and evil from the Most High. Any day, anytime. Now when Job's three friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place. Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Amathite. For they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him and to comfort him. And that's real friends right there, man. Right? He had good friends around him. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off and knew him not, because he had boils, he shaved his head, you couldn't recognize him. They lifted up their voice and wept, and they rent everyone his mantle and sprinkled dust upon the heads of heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw his grief was great. Yeah, I mean, you can give a brother a precept, man. Right? But a brother, he don't want to read a whole paragraph of precepts all the time. Sometimes, hey, that brother, you might want to just talk to that brother out the spirit of your heart and righteousness, man. Here, I know you lost your father. Hey, but remember, hey, Isaac lost his father. Remember, they buried him. Here's Genesis chapter 29. Hey, look, brother, it's not doing nothing, man. It's not helping that brother deal with that, man. Well, here's a precept from Barry. Here's Sirach 38:16. Weep for the dead. Brother, that has nothing. We know that. See, there is a precept for everything, but also the Most High gave man the counsel. He left him in the counsel of his own heart, man. And you could speak we have liberty to speak. The Lord said in Wisdom of Solomon, I believe was at the 6th chapter, the Most High granted us liberty that I believe that's the 6th chapter, that we could speak as we should, man. Right? I'll find that. So the Most High gave us wisdom to speak and filter it through the precepts. So if brothers are going through something, you could speak in wisdom, but always filter it through the precepts and be genuine, man. Be genuine with a brother. And sometimes again, you don't always have to say something, man. Get that brother time, man. Right? Here that is, that brother's father died. Brother don't answer the phone. And the brother don't want to talk right now, man. He's not in a good space. And also visit a brother, man. When brothers are going through things, if you have the means, see that man face to face. Let me get one quick precept.
Salaki,
Right.
quick point.
Huh.
It's a people say silence speaks the loudest at times.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to utter your mouth at the wrong time. When people are mourning, they got emotions going everywhere. You can say the wrong thing and he can haul off and smack you in the mouth or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to be mindful. It's a time and a place for everything. Right, but you got it, King.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact details of the matter, but there was a brother, he was homeless, man. And the brother came up and he kind of made a joke about, I don't know if brothers remember this. I don't know if he made a joke about you not having a job or you're not taking a shower or something like that, man. He tried to make a joke about the matter. Every matter, and the brother was mad about that, man. Every matter is not a joking matter, right? Brothers deal with this stuff is serious at times, man. Right? Look, I Satan working with you, man. Right? Brother, what'd you do now, brother? Your father's dead. What'd you do now, King? And the brother don't want to hear that, man. Let a brother come to me laughing with his hands up. What'd you do now, huh? This let me read this real quick. This is Sirach 4:2. Make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. Add not more trouble to an heart that is vexed, and defer not to give him to give, and defer not to give to him that is in need. So don't provoke brothers in their distress, man. Check on brothers. You could, Ak, how you doing? I'm just saying how you doing, whatever. Say what you want to say, Ak. I was thinking about you. You send a brother a precept, comforting. Hey, Ak, when you got time, we could talk. I'm here for you. I'm always here. You may not want to talk, but if you do, I'm here for you. Whatever you want to say in sincerity and according to the relationship that y'all two have as individuals or brothers or even sisters, you say those things. But Job also lets you know about how righteous friends or these friends deal with brothers when brothers go through adversity. Not just Job going through adversity, but how to comfort, how to deal with your brother when he's also going through it. Just want to make that point too. But brothers got it. Unless brothers want to bring out closing precepts.
Con, did you want to pour that? I think that was Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 15.
7 and 15. Con. Let me just get that real quick. The water. Right. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 and 15. It reads, God hath granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as is meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth to wisdom and directeth the wise. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also and knowledge of workmanship. So the words that you speak to comfort a brother, that's of the Most High. And like I said, you don't want to be I don't want to use the word a robot, right? Because you're supposed to go through all of the precepts, right? But you have to learn how to be friendly, man.
Compassionate.
That's a better word. Empathy, sympathy, right? These are words and spirits that also come out of the Most High too, right? These are also spirits. Spirit of empathy, the spirit the Most High can give you those spirits. And these are spirits of, like the brother said, compassion, mercy. These are also spirits that belong to the Most High. And he grants man liberty to speak freely according to the spirit that the Most High give him, to conceive in his mind the things that are meet for that particular situation. That's why, brother, without pulling a precept, he could diffuse a whole fight that's about to go down, a whole situation. Somebody, about to blow their damn brains out. He's not fumbling always through a scripture, but through the inspiration of the Most High, he's allowed to, get things done, like Daniel and Susanna. He said, I am free of this woman. And, he went about it according to the wisdom the Most High gave him. And that's something, too, that brothers can work on, man. Work on being compassionate, man. A lot of times, you don't have to be long-winded. Brothers go through stuff, but brothers, for some reason, they, I don't know if it's a Jake always got to one-up somebody or one of the curses. It's definitely one of the curses. But Jake always has to turn it and make it about them. Yeah, I can't catch a hell at my job, man. I've been working 8 hours. Yeah, man. I put a good 10 hours today, too. I put 10 hours today. No, brother, nobody asked you, man. Did you pour 10 hours today, man? Hey, this the 8 hours that was held for that brother. Help that brother, man, with them 8 hours, man. Talk to that brother, man. You don't have to say that you work 10 hours. Nobody cares. Nobody asked you, man. I want to make that point too. So go back.
Quick point too is the abundance of wisdom that brothers know of the precepts is going to cause them to move in the spirit too. If you know precepts on patience, precepts on being compassionate, precepts on, you don't have to quote them and pull them. It's in you. You know these precepts, man. Certain brothers may know a precept off the top of their head. One of their favorite precepts. Okay, I know I have to act patient. I know I have to have the fruits of the spirit. I know I have to be joyful. I know I have to do this. I know I have to do that. It's going to move the brother, and it's going to be in him, and he's going to know how to move himself. Right? So, I mean, if a brother pull out a damn weapon at camp or whatever case may be, and you sitting up there trying to grab for your sword and get shot, you got to really know how to diffuse the situation, how to move. How to talk, when to talk, your visage, all your countenance, all these accounts, David acting mad, man, with spittle and all hell breaking loose. Certain things you have to look at. Okay, that's wisdom. You got to know how to move, right? So again, these precepts too, they live inside of you. It's going to come a time where you're not going to have your highlighter in the Bible. God forbid a brother doesn't make it just because he doesn't have a physical book with ink in it. Again, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. And these words should reside and lay in you, man. I'm going to get one quick precept, and then, brothers got it, and or closing precepts. Ecclesiasticus, right? Chapter 15. Right, chapter 15. And I want to start at verse 7. Let's cut this last quick precept. But foolish men shall not obtain unto her. Obtain is the keep, man. Right? It's given unto you. And sinners shall not see her, for she is far from pride, and men that are liars cannot remember her. So if you're jammed up, you should remember wisdom. Wisdom should be in you. You should obtain it. It should be in you, and you should remember what to do in certain situations. Now, if you don't remember and you're looking for, what shall I do? You lick your finger. You open up the book, you fan your Bible like this. Like this is a globe and a map. You got to really know how to move. These precepts got to be in you. So it says, she is far from pride. So if you're moving in a prideful spirit, you're bucking up, you want to fight, ready to escalate a situation, you're moving farther away from the Lord. And men that are liars, right, contrary to the words of God, cannot remember her. It says, praise is not seemly in the mouth of a sinner. It was not sent him of the Lord. Right. So, I mean, again, these are precepts to remember that wisdom should be in you. Right. Not that you can't go to the scriptures, but it may be loud, man. It may be to a point where there's many times in the harbor where it's a band marching. They're blowing that old dust out of those old cannons, man. Right. It's a tumult. People are screaming. They're playing music. It's a festival, marching. It's a whole lot that goes on. May not be able to hear you, may not have a microphone. The microphone might die. I can't. Right. So again, these are situations where you got to just move in the spirit. The brothers got
it. We can go to 2nd Esdras chapter 1674. And also to land me back on the brother's point, experience is the best teacher. Right. So when doctors are trying to become doctors, they go through this thing. It's called residency. So they're residents to see how to work in operating rooms and work in ER rooms and things of that nature. So to be able to be compassionate and to obtain and continue with the wisdom, you got to go through situations to know how to use it skillfully. Right? These
Yeah.
brothers didn't just wake up, read the scriptures, and say, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna teach perfectly. Right? It came with experience. It came with years of trying, years of trial and error. You know, that's a part of growing and learning in this truth. It's trial and error, right? Constantly improving, right? But this is Second Esdras chapter 16 and verse 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your God, right? So the Most High is our God, and that's, pretty much what we were going into in Job, the second chapter. The Most High is your God. Even though he destroys you, like the precept Orion brought out, you will still trust in him. He's still going to be your God. Because in the scriptures, it tells you that the righteous shall be scarcely saved, right? So it's like, I don't know, you're hanging on a cliff and a little small pebbles start coming off. And right when you fall off, a hand grabs you and pulls you up, right? The Most High is your guide. Even though it seems like all else is failing, he will not cast you down. Verse 76, and a guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord Yahweh. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. So you can't let your sins weigh you down. You're going to fall short in this corruptible flesh, in this corruptible world that we live in. You're going to fall short, but you can't let your sins lift themselves up, right? Shake it off and keep moving. It's no time to wallow and weep. Oh, woe is me. I didn't make it home and get off of work before the sun went down, right? Don't let your sins weigh you down, right? Continue to keep pushing and add not sin upon sin, or be not afraid to add sin upon sin, right? Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, right? You can't get your sins off of you. Woe to them. That's death and destruction. Right? Like as a field is covered with bushes and the path thereof covered with thorns that no man may travel through, it is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. So if you choose not to fight the good fight and you say, well, I guess I got that thorn in my side, I'm going to just always be an adulterer, you're just a field waiting to be consumed with the fire that's coming. Right? With that, I yield.
Yeah, I want to get the classic in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, and verse number 2. All right, that's a good point the brother just made. You don't want to say, "What was me?" Most definitely want to fight, man. I was talking to a brother yesterday about that, man. I asked a brother how you doing in the spirit. Brothers, doing this. I got this going on. Got this going on. No matter how bad a brother says that he's catching hell, if I do ask him how you doing, it's beautiful to see a brother still fighting, man. It's mighty. That spirit of giving up is not comely. It's a coward. The Lord said not to counsel with a coward in matters of war. Matters of war isn't always putting on a helmet and a vest and actually going out in the field and physically fighting, man. A matter of war, if I counsel a brother and I'm asking, and I know he's a coward, and I say, Ak, I'm catching hell, Ak. I really don't know what to do. Man, hey, Ak, stop putting too much on yourself, man. Just take a break. Who says you had to go to camp? Why are you listening to all these videos? You put too much. Hey, I just take it a step at a time. Just breathe and just do, read once a week and see how you feel. Brother, counsel you in matters of war. And these wars are fighting off these evil spirits and these demons, right? And you have to continuously fight through that, man. A brother of wisdom will tell you, hey, have you fasted? Have you prayed? Have you read this precept? Take a look at this. He's going to give you a part of the sword and help you maneuver and fight with, man. Because again, this book, these words are a sword, man, a two-edged sword. So, I mean, you have to know, too, how you getting counsel and where you getting counsel from. The Lord said in Revelation chapter 3 and verse number 2, be watchful, right? Meaning be vigilant. and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before God. Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast, and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come unto thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. Right? So if you're not watching and being diligent, right, the Lord is going to visit you like a thief. That's exactly what happened to Job. Job didn't know. There was no reminder and or notice on Job's door that this was going to happen. The Lord visited him like a thief. The Lord could do that for evil, or he could do that for good, man. Or he could send down an angel as a thief in the night to document and write down all the things that are going on in your house, right? Because again, that's what these angels do. To that precept Amos pulled early on in the lesson, right? I believe it was Ezekiel 9. At the latter end of that chapter, says that an angel had an inkhorn by his side. What is an inkhorn? It's an old ancient way to write things. So he was documenting and writing things down. So you have to be vigilant and keep watch, because at any given time, the Lord's going to visit you like a thief. Brothers got it.
That's right. Let's go to Revelation chapter 22 and verse number 12. Right? Revelation chapter 22 and 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. And the Lord is coming quickly, man. You see prophecies unfolding. America's done, man. Right? They're trillions of dollars in debt. They're at war with every nation under the sun. Every nation has forsaken them. They're casting off the dollar. They're no longer doing trade with them. Their buildings are falling apart. Their bridges are falling apart. Their infrastructure is finished. There's sedition. There's rebellion going on internally. They say Trump, he's on his way out. I mean, if you're still banking on this society to last, for God knows how long, then you're sadly mistaken, right? Yahushua is coming quickly, man, right? All hell is going to break loose very, very soon, man. And we keep saying that because it is going to happen, because the Most High said it, man. And when the Lord returns, it's not just missiles and brimstone. His reward is coming too. Every brother that has been enduring, fighting a good fight. And the Apostle Paul said, I fought the good fight. I have finished my course. From henceforth, there's laid up for me a crown of righteousness, man. That the Most High will give me at that day. And to also all of them that love his appearing, paraphrasing. So Paul said he finished his course, man. You got to finish your course to receive your reward, man. Right? And we this close to the finish line. So brothers, keep fighting and keep enduring, man. Right? Get counsel if you need help. Confess your faults. If you're dealing with something, don't fall on your own sword in the midst of battle. Like damn King Saul, man. Right? He just fell on his sword and said, lest these uncircumcised Philistines. He didn't think about calling on the name of the Lord, man. He went out like a coward, like the brother said. He could have called on the name of the Most High, man. Lord, Yahweh, save me. He should have said, gird up yourself, armor bearer, and let's fight to the death, like Judas Maccabees. He said, kill me before these heathen abuse me, man. And then he thrust himself through, man. Do not die like Saul. Hey, when he was wounded and when the battle got hot, man. Keep fighting, man. Call on the name of the Most High. It says to give every man according as his work shall be. So you're going to get what you put in, not what another brother put in. Right? So with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach, like Yahushai. Most High willing, you are edified. Brother Naquam.
Brother Amos.
Brother Ryan.
Kwam Yasha. Shalom.
Shalom.